She's both a deplorable and adorable elections correspondent at the Federalist, Brianna Lyman. He went to avoid crossing her path. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor. Brianna, if the situation was reversed, this would be huge news. If this was a report by Democrats about an infirm Republican president.
I am very hopeful about this going somewhere. And the reason being is the left has no escape route, right? After Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson come out with this book confirming what we all knew, the media adopted the posture of, oh, no, we knew Biden was cognitively impaired and we covered it fairly and accurately, right? So they put themselves in a corner where they've admitted that Biden was cognitively declining. So it's hard for them now in the same breath to say, yes, Biden was cognitively declining, but there is no way he could have had someone take his executive auto pen and fill out these pardons, right? So they've backed themselves into a corner where they can no longer reflexively say Republicans are, delegitimate or this is unnecessary. They have already consented and agreed that Biden was cognitively declining, and this is the latter half of that entire situation.
I'm confused that they can say on one hand.
Yeah, it's the ultimate collusion, right?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the people closest to him,
Kat, I know people just want, like Harold Ford will say, we got to think about the future, forget about Joe.
Just fascinated of how it happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And also, I've said this before, but I feel like no one ever says this, and I still want to know. I still don't really get the whole auto pen thing, because I feel like it's not that hard to sign stuff.
Yeah.
That's like, why was there an auto pen?
You're supposed to do it for like autographs.
The easiest part of the job is like going like that. Like you couldn't do that?
Yeah, unless it was like 1,000 books. But you're right. Yeah.
You could do it sitting down.
Yes. He could actually be lying down and do it.
It's about the auto pen, like I'm supposed to understand how that could possibly be necessary.
It is true. Like, it's like that.
From it, because there's this little thing, a lot of the politicians involved tomorrow. So I think she was probably talking to a Nigerian prince instead of talking to the president. Continuing the stuff, the people that were running the country.
All right, Glenn, do you think that they actually believe what they're saying or just assume no one will look it up?
They assume no one's going to think it's their moral imperative to stop that person at any.
Let's get up and walk away right now and never come back. Okay. The thing is, we were just talking about J.B. Pritzker. Was it this week or last week? I think it was last week. But he also said he never suggested Trump was Hitler. So he actually set the bar very low for himself. He didn't say he directly called him. It's like, okay, so when you were saying that the way that Trump's immigration policy is a precursor to the Holocaust.
Yes.
What were you suggesting that makes Trump in those circumstances?
Yeah.
I would love to hear his answer.
Yeah.
I would love to hear his answer. But the thing is people only talk to people who agree with them. There's only a bunch of people who agree with each other, talking to each other, so they don't actually maybe even know. Although with him, it's remarkable because he did it himself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he doesn't remember the previous week. Because if he would have said, I never directly called him Hitler, maybe that's true. But what did you mean by all this stuff? You certainly suggested it.
Unless he said, yeah.
I would love to know.
Yeah. Tyrus?
By saying those things out loud. This is just act 2 of what we saw during Trump. You're getting the whip programs, all the stuff. What do you think the worst of that group's going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to see. So they don't have to say, oh, I didn't mean to call him Hitler. They've already done it. They've already convinced. All you got to do.
I dare you to find a single clip of that.
I think to Tyrus's point, they just don't care. Right? These are not journalists, right? These are propagandists. You have to call them the propaganda press. And what they're trying to do is they want to memory hole the assassination prep campaign that they launched. And the purpose of this type of incendiary rhetoric is to justify violence by any means necessary, because you're justifying resistance, right? No freedom-loving American wants to live under Hitler, under Nazis, right? So when you convince people that that's what they're living under, you're also giving them that permission slip to say, do what needs to be done to fight back against them. So it's part of their propaganda on behalf of the Democratic Party, to Tyrus's point, to cause that chaos, to cause that division.
Excellent point. All right. Up next.
Well, so also what's important here is when he was talking about it in the video, if you watch the video, he gets like choked up.
Yes.
When he's talking about it. That is so crazy to me, to be getting choked so differently, that this is something that affects you, and you're to the point where you're like, you can't even talk about it publicly without getting choked up. And it's actually not even something that happened that way. That kind of creeps me out.
Yeah, no, it shows you how inauthentic this guy is, how fake he is. Speaking, so Tyrus, this is that up thing the left does.
How dare you? Women back then, if they dropped that hang and it was dirty, a man would not talk to you and you'd be besmirched. And she took, well, shame on you, Jon Stewart.
Brianna.
The victim of 9/11 was his second cousin's aunt, whoever she may be. Not the 3,000 people who had horrible deaths, but his aunt, who may not even exist. And I think what's really disturbing is he's trying to paint New York City as like this racist and Islamophobic city after they were attacked by radical Islamic terrorists. They are racist and Islamophobic. And the reason he does this is because Democrats always fall back to identity politics to shut down debate. That way, if you want to question Mamdani's radical socialist policies, he says, are you Islamophobic? And you're like, oh my God, no, these are great policies. Like, keep going. We really like them. That's the goal of this.
Yeah, it is. Good-looking people before. What do you make of this admission?
I have to fact. We're down to 50%. All right. All right.
Power is a great aphrodisiac. What I love, Brianna, is that no matter where he is, he turns it into America. It's like that's Japan, but it could just be.
He is hands down the best president who is also the best entertainer. And I don't mean to knock Ronald Reagan here, but Donald Trump does the entertainment business better than Ronald Reagan could have, because he knows what the people like. This is the golden age of America, and he capitalizes on it every chance he gets.
Yeah,
I'd be using that to start a fight. I would just say, which one is it?
Yeah.
Is it that you don't think I'm good looking? Or that you don't like me? And then you wait. I just gave her a good idea then.
Yeah, yes, you did. All right.
Next interview with
feminist women trash other women because you're not a man in a swimsuit.
Right, and that's what's so baffling about this entire argument, because it's like the actual feminists of the early 1900s, they fought because they wanted women to be able to define themselves outside of male authority, right? And it's almost like you have a bunch of men sitting behind like a big, screen, no one knows they're in the dark room, and they're like, how can we get women back under our control? I know, let's send dudes into women's sports, guilt women who are a little more emotional, and say, you're transphobic, you're cruel if you don't allow men into women's sports. And you have these idiots like AOC and other feminists who jump on them, they're like, yes, absolutely. If you don't want a man in your sport, you're a bigot, you're a transphobe. And so these new feminists have adopted like this really weird ideology in which men get to define what a woman is and what feminism actually means.
Yeah.
And that's actually being susceptible to the patriarchy.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to take credit for that.
Well, Riley Gaines is very courageous and incredibly inspirational. She became the face of.
Maybe they should debate, Kat. That would be.
I mean, I guess. I mean, AOC also told her to get a job, which I'm sorry, but no one in Congress, let's talk about her job, okay? Like, none of them should be getting paid right now.
Right.
Absolutely none of them should be getting paid. Like, when there's a government shutdown and they get.
Am I right?
Probably not. I'm willing to go on the limb here.
Always turning everything.
She's a heckler at a wrestling match, like where they say something like,
why don't?
Yeah, but don't they? Is it Sarah McBride is the dude who dresses up like a man or like a woman? Yeah, they already have that. To Kat's point, one of the things AOC said about getting a job, that just shows the contempt that Democrats have for mothers. Riley Gaines has the most important role right now in her life, that is being a new-time and a full-time mother, and AOC is attacking her for it. What does that say to the rest of the mothers around this country?
This country?
Yeah. What about us dads? Timpf studio audience. Watch this.